Hello, hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hello, and welcome wherever you are. Welcome to Kita's list of everything black, or as I like to say, Kita's list of black everything. Okay, this is a companion website to kitaslist.com. Today, I'm going to talk to you about tech um, and how that can impact your pocketbook. So, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, get that paperwork out the way. I hope that you have already gone over and joined kitaslist.com. It's free to join, it's free to use. Okay? It's not free to list your business, but right now, it won't always be this cheap, but right now, it's less than $1 a week. So, what's there to lose? We can only grow, right? My vision is that Black people change the way they shop. When you get ready to buy something, you go to kitaslist.com to find a provider that's within our community, right? And do business with them, right? So please go over and join, help us grow. And I look forward to seeing you there. Okay, so let's move on to today's topic. Today's topic is tech. I've worked in tech forever, and I'm often asked for a tip, right? I don't know. The tip is not going to bring you any money. Uh, like playing the horses is not that type of tip. Um, I have a feeling that you're not hearing me well. Okay. So I hope you can hear me better now. It's not that type of tip, but it can cost you money if you fail to do these things, right? So, number one tip that I always give people, back up your data, back up your computer, back up your photos, back up your information. Back it up, back it up, back it up, okay? There's no, because once it's gone, there's nothing you can do, okay? Um, my dentist was telling me not that long ago that she had lost all of her, she teaches, and she had lost all of her lectures and so forth, and, was trying to get them back. I'm like, well, where were they stored? Did you back them up anywhere? No. Okay. Well, once it's gone, you're not going to get it back. The only thing you can get back, like if you accidentally delete something, you can get that back out of the recycle bin, probably. But if something happens to your computer, it stops working for some reason, the hard drive goes bad for whatever reason, that's actually happened to me in the past, then it's gone forever. And once it's gone forever, you can't get it back. So usually when you get a new device, it asks you about backing up your data ever so often, right? And so you should always set that up immediately. But if you didn't set it up, then then you can set it up now. So here's something I want people to understand about tech. Well, even before that, first of all, everybody has to become more tech savvy, right? Because AI is here. Our world is going to be even more involved in tech. And like the lady in the post office said to me, if it wasn't for young people, she doesn't think she can live her life because she needs young people to show her how to use things. No, you don't need that. Everybody can use it themselves. You don't have to be a guru, but you do have to be, a little bit tech savvy. I mean, gone are the days where you cannot have an email address. Okay, so you know, um, in this world, there's so much anti-blackness. We can't afford to be left behind on another platform. There's already a digital divide, so let's not let that divide get any wider and let's get teched, okay? So, one of the things you can do, like, I'm not telling you to go out and become a developer or a computer program. I'm not saying that, but I am saying know the basics, have your email address, know how to back up your computer, know how to use a computer, know how to access files, and protect yourself on the computer or whatever device you're using, computer, laptop, phone, however if you're connecting to the internet, you need to be protected. If you have uh, information, and by information I mean anything on your device that you wouldn't want to lose, you need to be protected. So the first way to protect yourself is to back up your data, and it's absolutely free. You can do it for free. Okay? So if you didn't set up your computer in the beginning for a backup, there are multiple places out here that offer free services, right? But the one that is most popular is Google. Google Drive. Google Drive is free. They have a separate Google Photos, which is also free, where you can back up your pictures. Google Drive is free to back up your computer, and you can set it up to back up automatically at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're sleeping, right? So let's take a look at that if you haven't done it before. Let's see. Okay, so let's do this. All right, so if you go to Google and you Google Drive, this is what comes up, right? So this is what you want right here, personal cloud storage and file sharing platform, right? So just to scroll down and show you, you can, there's a lot of information. Here's another thing, box.com, that's pretty good too. I've just recently met that and I like it. I don't know as much about it as I know about Google, so that's the one I'm going to talk about. So if you click this, it'll show you easy and secure access to your content, right? You can go to Drive, and this is the part I want to show you. Sign up at no cost. I'm not going to go through the steps. You can go through the steps and you click here. It's not going to do it for me because I'm already signed into my Google account and I already have this. But it's not difficult. You can step through it. I want to just go back for a second. Okay, don't want to go back that far. Okay, so you can follow up on that. If you hate Google for some reason, then you can go and check out this one, box.com, unlimited cloud storage. So let's talk about cloud for a second. Look at this, free trial, free for 14 days, right? The Google is free forever. They haven't said anything about paying for any of this. So I think you kind of want to go with that, right? So So now here's the thing. You get a lot of space, right? But if you run out of space, you can buy some space. And I think right now it's like $2 for a month for a ridiculous amount of space. Or you can just get rid of some things you don't need anymore, right? Do you really need all those documents from the job you had 20 years ago where you saved some documents you were working on? Probably not. And if you do you need them to be backed up? Do you um are they that valuable? I mean, probably not. So that's the number one thing you should do is back up your data, right? Now, the number two thing you should do, actually, this is probably number one, and a backup is number two. The number one thing is secure your device. And what I mean by that is protect yourself from viruses and ransomware and malware, right? Now, those things have different names, but it's bad stuff. Right? That's really all you need to know is it's bad for you, bad for your computer. So let me just explain them a little bit. So virus and malware are kind of the same thing. They work a little differently, but for the purposes of this conversation, they're the same thing. And a virus is exactly what it is. If you're a human and you get a virus, it can kill you. Okay? It can uh, destroy certain parts of your body. It can make parts of your body not usable anymore. You may recover from a virus. You may not recover from a virus. You may recover partially. You may not recover partially. Virus works the same way on a computer. Okay. It can destroy all of your files. It can replicate itself. It can attach itself to email that you send to other people, so now they have the virus. So yeah, you definitely want to protect yourself from that. The other thing is ransomware, and this actually happened to a friend of mine. You know, you hear about this every so often, that there are people in other countries that are attacking American institutions. Um, but some of those people are in America, okay? Let's just be honest. It's not all coming, the call is not always coming from outside the house. Sometimes the call is coming from inside the house. And so what ransomware does is it holds your computer hostage where you can't do anything until you pay a ransom. And then sometimes when you pay, it's just like real ransom in real life. When they kidnap your computer just like a person is kidnapped, and once they get the ransom, maybe they release them and maybe they don't. Okay. So that's how ransomware works. Now, to protect yourself from that, you need virus protection software. There are a bunch of them on the market, like everything else, but there are two that have been around forever, have very good reputations, and one that I've used them both, but the one that I've used, one of them I've been using for quite a few years at this point. That's Norton's antivirus. Um, the number two one that I mentioned is McAfee. But let's go and see. Let's see what's on the market right now. All right, so I did a little Google and I came out with these six. Okay. Total AV I never heard of. Norton I use now. It's pricey, and I'm going to talk to you about the priciness of this software in a minute. Bitdefender never heard of. McAfee I'm familiar with. Some people swear by it. I like Norton's better. Surfshark and Aura. Surfshark I never heard of, or I have heard of, but I'm really not familiar with it because I'm already using Norton's and I don't have a reason that I want to change. So I found this. This is from Forbes, right? And they have a whole article on it. But let me just scroll down here. What threats can antivirus protect against, right? So I just talked to you about viruses, worms, trojans, ransomware, spyware, adware, rootkits, keyloggers. These are different types of, uh, we refer to them collectively as viruses, right? But it's different types of malware, right? That can, it's different types of software that's meant to cause harm to you and your computer. Okay. So now they have a review here. Um, Let me just go back. I saw, okay, yeah, over here. They have reviews of two of these, right? So here's a Norton's review. Okay. Pros save up to 66%. I don't know what that means. Okay. Um, Provides real-time protection against viruses and malware. So one thing that I love about Norton's is that they offer browser protection. So if you start to go to a website that is a known malware website or known for phishing or known for just doing things that we don't want done to our information, our computers or whatever, they can warn you. And they keep their, once you install it, it keeps itself up to date. Okay. So it will ask you for a schedule. I think it asks you for a schedule, but I have mine set up to update whenever it wants. So I just let it do its thing. I love this 100% virus protection promise, right? So you can dig into what that really means. There are parental controls, but I don't use that. I love this inclusion of secure VPN for online privacy. So, what is a VPN? A VPN is a virtual private network, and I just got this I brought up this page on their website, right? A virtual private network gives you online privacy and anonymity by creating a private network from a public internet connection, right? So it doesn't have to be a public internet connection, but that's where the beauty of it really comes in. So your computer has a unique address. It's called an IP address, okay? You know how the White House in America, we know what the White House is and where it is, but the White House has a street address, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So you could say the White House and you might not really know where to go. But if you say 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, we know exactly where that is. And that's what an IP address is for your computer, right? Now, you don't need people. Why does somebody need to know your exact address? Well, sometimes companies look at IP addresses because they're trying to protect their website. And sometimes there is malicious, malintent hackers or whatever out there trying to target people for malware, for ransomware. So, you want to protect yourself from that. Even if it's not a target to your computer, you don't want somebody hacking in and pulling your information off of the connection between you and the internet, and then using your information to start opening credit cards or steal your identity. We don't, you don't want that. A VPN protects you from that because it encrypts your information. Okay, so encryption means that they're going to code your information in a complex way that is very, very difficult to decipher. Okay, so it's like when robberies are happening in a neighborhood, they pick the house that has the least amount of protection. So by you having a VPN, you're the house with a great deal of protection. Okay, so So this part I want you to remember. A virtual private network is a key privacy tool that you should use when you're logging into the internet from a public place such as a coffee shop, hotel lobby, or any other spot that offers access to free public Wi-Fi. I use my VPN even at home. Even though my internet connection is secure, even though I've paid for high-speed internet from a major provider who's making sure that that connection is is not something someone can easily tap into. You can't get in without the password. I'm the one who knows the password. I'm the one who changes the password, which is something that I do and have done. So I'm protected at home, but I still keep my VPN on as an extra level of protection because it gives me a warm fuzzy feeling. Since I work in tech, I want to be super protected, right? So, that's the bit about Norton and the VPN. Okay. Then they came up with this Bitdefender review. Um, I have this highlighted here, inexpensive personal plans, because I'm going to tell you, Norton's is expensive. Like they are not cheap. And then they have other different products that they offer, which I take advantage of because I don't get everything they have, but I get a lot of what they have because, I work in tech and I've heard the stories, and so I want to be protected. And there's probably things that will never happen, but here's the thing about tech. Here's a big, big secret you need to know about tech. Once it happens, the stuff has already hit the fan, and now and it's a big pile and it's a huge fan, okay? And it's difficult to clean up. When I was early in my career, before we had certain technological advances, when things went wrong, my boss would be in the computer room overnight. Okay, I've had to come in the middle of the night to fix things when I was a developer. So you don't have to come in anymore because everybody can log on from anywhere. But um, who wants to be bothered in the middle of the night? I don't. So I'm not worried about losing data and I'm not worried about being attacked by a virus because I got the virus protection that I think is the top level, right? Um, having said all of that, Here's another one, Bitdefender. Um, when it comes to virus protection, don't be so cheap. Get the thing that works well as opposed to the cheap thing. Just in tech in general, go with the flow, go with the masses. If everybody is using Microsoft Word, you don't go and use, I heard a word, okay? Because it's probably not going to work nearly as well, right? Um, I'm never, I never jump on the bandwagon early when it comes to products that can impact my computer or really my life. Um, I wait and let them get the kinks out, right? So when the new version of the operating system used to come out from Microsoft, I'm like, okay, let them work on that. Let's see the kinks work out. And then after it's working smooth, that's when I'll get it for myself. Okay. So you need to keep that in mind when you're dealing with tech. Okay. So this really is the number one thing. Protect yourself from virus and malware and whatever you want to call it. Just bad things happening. So I'll tell you a little story because this happened to a friend of mine. I get a call, right? Because when you work in tech, people think I'm a software person. I don't do hardware. But when you work in tech, people think you know everything about everything. And if I hear things and, so I touch upon different things sometimes. So if I can help, I will. So I get a call from my friend. Long story short, she's had a ransomware attack and she wants to know what she should do. I'm like, there's really nothing you can do. You can pay them and get control of your computer back. Yeah, because that's what the ransomware is. They take control of your computer. Just like when they kidnap a person in real life and there's a ransom, they've taken control of that person. They take control of your computer. You can't do anything. Um, I told her there's only two things you can do. You can pay the ransom or not. And I wasn't even trying to be funny. This was a good friend of mine. Like I wasn't trying to, be mean or anything, but that is the answer. So either you pay them or you don't. If you pay them, there's no guarantee that you'll get your computer back. So I don't remember the outcome. I think she paid them. I think she paid them. But she had to get a new computer and just. Um, now I want you to know that viruses can be cleaned, right? And if you need to clean a virus, you're better off going to somebody like Geek Squad or, some large business that offers virus cleaning and not some small company because the small guy has a vested interest in getting you to spend more money. And I know a couple of people who have tried to use a service like that, and the person tried to sell them a whole new computer, which is really not necessary when you're just cleaning a virus. Um, Now, if you have malware or ransomware, that could be a different story. But this person didn't have that. So that's it, guys. Those are my top two tips. Number one, make sure you have virus protection. Number two, make sure you back up your data. And you can do that for free. I hope you found this helpful. Um, and oh, let me tie it back to the impact on your pocketbook. Do I really need to do that though? I mean, if all the stuff on your computer, all the stuff on your phone, a lot of people have their whole life on their phone, credit cards and everything on their phone. What happens if you lose your phone? It can cost you a lot of money. And I'm not talking about just replacing the phone, right? If somebody gets your information, they start to use it, it can be very bad for you. Same thing with your computer. Um, Yeah, that could have a devastating impact to your pocketbook. But then what about you lost your device and it's sitting in front of you? You lost it from virtual means. Like it's right here, but you can't use it, right? Because somebody's holding it hostage or it's got some software on it that's going through and just deleting your files or going through and opening your files and erasing whatever information is in it. Or worse, getting your information and sending it somewhere. Yeah, that can all happen and it has happened. Um, so don't let it happen to you. This is information that these pieces of advice are relevant to both personal and business. So um, please follow this advice because it can bring you to tears. It really can. Um, and backing up your data is the number two thing, and that can bring you to tears too because you could have really important information. Like I said, the dentist lost all her lectures, you know, and she had no way of getting that back. And it's free. It just takes maybe 10 minutes of your time if you haven't done it before, okay? But even if it took half an hour, it would still be worth it. Let me tell you a big secret about tech, right? The way that we stop tech problems is we simulate the problem ahead of time, right? And then we apply protection so that it never happens. That's the big secret in tech, right? We call that quality assurance or testing. We test things to death. And if your testing is really good, then you protect yourself from bad things happening. Now, it's technology, so there's always going to be something that happens. There's always going to be something, right? But hopefully it'll be a small thing and not a big thing. So that's what you want to protect yourself from. Okay, guys, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this. Press that like button. Help me spread the word. Press the subscribe button. Share the video and go over there and sign yourself up at keytoslist.com. Thank you so much. Bye. See you next time.